Hello, how you guys doing? My name is Okoro Blessing in Kiroka, and I am popularly known as Blessing CEO. We do this every morning and every night. I give you something to wake up to, and I give you something to go to bed with. So, this is 11, and I know you are all up on your bed. Some of you are waiting for a Okoro Blessing. I know. How you guys doing? How was your day? How was work? How was school? How was kids? How's family? I hope you guys are doing well. So I want to talk about a very vital topic that a lot of people are not aware about. And I want you to pay attention to it. Yes. I'm going to be opening your eyes to something you are not aware about. What I want to tell you this night is what is called a life lesson. Trust me. Even the most expensive books that you buy have never told you this great reality I'm going to give you for free. Anyway, I give a lot of the realities of life for free. You know why? Because I don't want you to have an excuse to say that's the reason why you were stupid. It's going to feel good that you actually heard this from Blessing Okoro and you still fell victim. Trust me. That can be very hurtful. So, we're going to be talking about... I want to paste the topic. Good. The topic for today is how to know you are married to your enemies. Do you know that some of you are actually married to your enemies? You don't know. Now, I'm going to bring in something to your head. Many of you are actually married and you're dating your enemies, but you don't know. Yep. How do I know that I am dating and I am married to my enemy? That's a very vital question, and I know a lot of you are very curious to know. I'll tell you. Who is your enemy? What's the meaning of enemy? Enemy is that person that does not want you to grow. Enemy is that person that does not want you to succeed. Enemy is that person that does not want to see you happy. Does not want to make you happy. They always want to see you sad. Deliberately or not deliberately. Good. Now, we have established that enemies are people who do not want you to grow. But do you know that many of you are actually married to people that do not want you to grow? Do you know that many of you are actually married? After you've been married, you've been stagnant. Do you know that you are dating some people that don't want you to grow? Do you know that there are some of you that were better off when you were single than when you were married? And the Bible said when two become one, a lot of things are going to happen. How come when you were alone, good things were happening to you? And now that you are married, you are stagnant. Now, let me bring it out from the spiritual aspects. I don't want to go biblical, because when we go biblical, when we go to the Bible, we don't seem to understand what's happening in the spiritual. Let's leave the spiritual realm and bring it to the physical realm, which is the factual realm. Because I'm a very factual woman. Now, this is what happens to you. Let me teach you something about growth. There is a difference between change and growth. When you start to grow, some people will no longer love you. Some men, some women are not used to growth. When you start to grow, they leave you. When you start to grow, they hate you. When you start to grow, they dislike you. That growth is what is called, a lot of people get to call change. Some people actually want you to remain the way you are. There are some men that they met you a naive 18-year-old girl. They want you to remain that naive 18-year-old girl. Don't grow. That girl that don't used to talk. That girl that does not know anything. Some people actually married you because you were naive. The moment you begin to grow and you become aware, it becomes a problem. There are some men that cannot stand a woman's growth, and there's some women that cannot stand a man's growth. There's some women that will say, when my husband was poor, he was more humble. When my husband was poor, he was more loyal. When my husband did not have anything, we were together. Some people actually enjoy you being poor because they believe that when you are poor as a man, they can control you. You don't know? Some women like it, the fact that you don't have a job and they are feeding you. Some women like the fact that they are the ones, because when you don't have anything, people can control you. Some people miss that control in your life. So when you grow, they no longer love you. That is what it means to be married to your enemy. Do you know what is called witchcraft? Some people can actually be a witch to you and you will not know. Witchcraft can be conscious or unconscious. There are some of you, the moment you're married, that was your doom. Some of you married your destiny killer. That person you married is the one that have killed your dream, killed your destiny, killed your zest. Guess what? After killing all these things, they will not still stay with you. After killing all these things, they will not still stay. After killing all these things, they will still go and cheat with another woman who has dreams, who has ambition, who has a destination. That is what happens to a lot of you in your marriages. Your husband does not want you to. Your husband does not want you to. Your husband does not want you to. But his side chick is... His side chick is everything that you are not. Why? He's the enemy. If a man can be growing another woman and not grow his wife, he's an enemy. If a man can be growing another woman's dream and not grow his wife's dream, he's an enemy. If a man will be attracted to another successful woman and not want his wife to succeed, he's an enemy. A full-blown enemy. But many of you women do not know how to define your enemies. Guess what? They will useless you and not still marry you. After uselessing you, they'll still throw you away. That's the reality of life. Because you no longer have value. They go and still look for that woman that is focusing on her dreams. The same thing as a man. If you don't have anything to offer a woman, you don't want to work, she will use after uselessing you, she will call you a lazy man and dump you. Now, you people need to be able to understand something in what is called a relationship and a marriage. If you are not growing, you are married, somebody is an enemy. If you get into a marriage or you get into a relationship and you people are not growing and one person is not growing, somebody is an enemy. Stop marrying people who do not like your growth. Stop marrying people who are not comfortable with your growth. Brian, don't disturb me this time because sorry, I will spank you this night if you disturb my live video. It's becoming a habit. Go to your room. Stop marrying your enemy. Many of you do not even know who your enemies are. Your enemy is that person that does not want you to grow. Some of you fight wrong battle. Some of you go and start fighting people that don't know you. When the enemy is within. That's your husband that does not want you to walk. That does not want you to chase your dream. That does not want you to look beautiful. That does not want you to chase your desire. That does not want you to contribute to humanity. Human is the enemy. Because he will be the first man to call you useless. He will be the first man to cheat on you with a working class woman. Why are you at home? What are you doing in the house? He doesn't want you to work because he doesn't want another man to see you. He's an enemy. Because after he finished killing your dreams and your desires, he will still not marry you. Marriage is supposed to be growth. There are some marriages that you leave. As soon as you leave the marriage, you start to grow. There are some relationships that you leave. As soon as you begin to grow. There are some women that don't allow their husbands to grow. They will use nag. As the man is entering the door, they will start with nag. Tell the man how useless he is. No food for the man to eat. You don't want to give the man food. If the man eat outside, you insult him. 1 minute man, useless man. The man enter the room, you follow him. Early in the morning, you insult him. Afternoon, you insult him. Evening, you insult him. She's an enemy. A woman who continuously verbal abuse you, messes up with your mental health as a man, she's an enemy. That's the honest truth. Many of you are married to the person that is killing you. Many people are dead in marriages, and some people are walking corpse in their marriages. These are realities. You are living with your full-blown enemy. Yet you cannot go. Society. What will they say now? I don't want to go now. What will they say now? It's time to be able to spot what marriage is about. Marriage is about growth. When two good heads come together, there's supposed to be development and growth. It simply means two good minds, two good upbringings, two environments. You guys are supposed to make magic. When one person is not growing, you are married to your enemy. Some men just want to control you. I saw somebody write on my comment section one day. I don't know if the man is on this live video. He said any woman that does not want to be controlled is not ready to be married. Run from such men. There is a difference between control and guide. Anybody that wants to control you does not want you to grow. If people love you, they don't control you, they guide you. Control is stagnant. It is only what is stagnant that you can control. Anything that is moving, you cannot control. You can only guide it. You know, English is hard. I think English is one of the major problems we have in this place called Africa. Anything you are controlling is stagnant. Anything you are guiding is moving. So anybody that wants to control you wants you to be stagnant. So that they'll be pointing you. They can push you to anywhere. But anybody that loves you, wants you to move, they can only guide you. So to that man who said, if you don't want to marry, it's a lie. Even God does not control you as a human being. I don't know how you people used to reason this love. Now let me tell you how to analyze love. Come, let me tell you something. God in heaven gave you life. You see this God that we worship. Once you just do like this, he can take away your life. This life is something money cannot buy. God in heaven that gave you life and gave you breath does not control you. He still gave you the ability to do anything you want to do. Do. But just repent. Him that gave you life you can sin, you can lie, you can thief. God that gave you life still gave you freedom. Do you know what the Bible did? Then when he gave you freedom, he gave you the 10 commandments to guide you. You don't know. You are religious, but you don't even know your Bible. That's the reason why people people mess with your head. God gave you life. God gave you breath. God gave you everything and gave you freedom. But he gave you the Bible to guide you. God is not controlling you. Who the fuck is a man to be controlling you? Husband. Who is the husband? You did not give me anything. The man that gave me life, gave me freedom. Your husband is supposed to guide you. Your husband is supposed to protect you. He's not supposed to control you. Your wife is supposed to be by your side. She's not supposed to control you. The point is, everybody wants to marry because they want to control somebody. The woman wants to marry because she wants to be controlling the man and his manhood. I want it to be only me. I want to be the one that is controlling my husband's man and manhood. The man wants to marry. Everybody wants to control. That's the problem in the relationship. Now, when everybody gets into a marriage, they are dragging for control. Who will control each other? So that's where you get to see the power tussle and the ego. The man wants to control. The woman wants to control. And you don't need to control anybody. Just guide them. Anybody that wants to control you, wants to manipulate you. And that's what's happening in your marriages. A man is not supposed to control you. If he genuinely loves you, there's no need for control. He will guide you. Just like the way the Bible is guiding you. To all the men that are controlling their wife, how far? If you see what most of your wife do behind closed door, you will cry. You will realize how stupid you are. Because when you say you want to control a full-grown adult, I see it like stupidity. Yes, it is stupidity for you to say you want to control a woman. The woman will do what she wants to do and pretend to be there. Do you carry your wife everywhere? If you control your wife and tell her, don't walk, don't do this thing, because you don't want another man to see her. There is a cook in your house now. Maybe you have driver. Maybe you have gatesman. You still kept something around her. Now she's not going to be an island now. She will go market. What are you talking about? It is the people that are within that will be helping you now, since you are controlling your wife. They will help you to be guiding your wife. If you see what your wife, all you men that think you are smart, that think you are a jagaban, that think you are a man, that think you want to put dictator, you want to be following your wife everywhere. If you see what your wives do, it is even the women that are free that do not misbehave. Go and mark my word. I've told you before that if you want to test a woman's fidelity, give her freedom. If you want to test a man's fidelity, give him freedom. If you want to test people's fidelity, give them freedom. Let a woman see men and decide to come back home and say, I love you. It is this man I want to be with after seeing men. Don't cage her from seeing men. Because if you cage her from seeing men, if she sees just one small man, she will get excited and shift her pants. Allow her to go and see men and come back and say, I have seen men. Is this one I want to stay with? Allow the man to go and see women. Let him finish seeing and say, is this one I want to marry? That is the true meaning of fidelity. It's not all this drama you are doing. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you there? You are policing somebody. You are wasting your time. The point is everybody is dragging for the power tussle. You always want to tussle. You always want to battle. You are wasting your time. People will do what they want to do, but they become perfect in hiding that thing that they are doing. What are you talking about? So when I see some men doing drama, I'll just be laughing at them. If you see what your wives do behind closed door, you will cry. You will weep. That's your wife that is wearing long boba. If you see what she does behind closed door, you will weep as a man. We need to unlearn. Let us unlearn and relearn. These things you are doing is not working. You cannot own a human being. You can't control a human being. Love is guidance. What I'm doing to you on Facebook, I'm not controlling you. For every time I come on Facebook and I talk to you, I'm not forcing you to take what I want. That's the reason why many times I don't like to bring the Bible. The reason why I'm not a very religious person is because I don't want to force you, because people are so afraid of religion. Yes. That is the reason why they tell you a lot of things in the Bible that you cannot ask questions, because you are afraid. You don't want to say something and they will not say that you have insulted God or you have insulted your pastor. So religion makes you scared. Now let me tell you something about religion. Religion makes you scared. Religion makes you lazy, because there's some unanswered question nobody wants to answer. If you ask your pastor a question now, he'll say you're Banji. Ask your pastor a question, he'll say you are possessed. So religion have coined a lot of things. People lack understanding. That's why people are worshiping something they don't even know. If you ask a lot of people about Jesus Christ now, they don't know. They are even afraid to. Some of them have questions they want to ask about Christianity, but they cannot ask. Because when they ask, pastor will say you are possessed. They will start to do binding and casting on your head. That's why you see me, I don't go to the spiritual level, because I understand that when I begin to go to the spiritual level, I'm going to put fear inside of you. You will not be able to. I want to be able to bring things in a factual level where you will understand something you can relate to. If I begin to quote Bible for you, most of you cannot relate to the Bible. That's the honest truth. That's why I'm not a preacher. Nothing stops me from, if I quote Bible for you here, you will run. If I want to do my relationship talks based on scripture, you will run. But I realize that a lot of young people have an unanswered question about Christianity and they cannot ask. That's why I'm not coming in from the biblical parts. I'm coming in from the factual parts. So that you can be able to ask me questions. I want to be able to tell you things that you can relate with. Things that are relatable. Not things that you don't understand. Because there are some certain things your pastor is saying you don't understand. Smart thing, they'll tell you have spiritual husband. I don't believe in spiritual husband. Smart thing, they'll tell you have spiritual wife. People tend to hide under spiritual when they don't understand it. I don't believe in spiritual husband. All those things are fabricated lies. When some people don't understand what is going on with you, you're having, they say somebody is having spiritual husband. That shit doesn't exist. Unlearn. That's why I'm a very factual woman. And that's why I take my time to detail my explanation. That even a daft will understand where blessing is coming from. Stop letting people control you. Stop it. When people control you, when you let people control you, you make a mockery of God. Fuck it. When you allow a man control you, you mock God. When you allow a woman control you, you mock God. Because God said, don't lie, don't steal, don't fornicate, don't commit adultery, don't bear false witness. God gave a 10 commandments, even though he had the power to control mankind. If God does not want you to sin, all he would do is put a penalty to his 10 commandments. God will just say, if you lie, you will die. Nobody will lie. If God just say, anytime you lie, you die, nobody will lie. If God says, anytime you fornicate, you die, nobody will fornicate. That virginity, you keep it by force. If God says, anytime you commit adultery, you die, nobody will commit adultery. When God puts such penalty, it simply means he wants to control mankind. He will be controlling you because you don't want to die. But he didn't put any penalty. He gave you freedom, but said, don't do these things with the 10 commandments. Because when you do this, because when you read the 10 commandments, there's something I noticed about the 10 commandments. When you read and understand the 10 commandments, right? That 10 commandments is a guide. See, no matter how stupid we are and we continue committing sin, can I shock you? Everything that God asks us not to do and we are doing, that's what we are suffering. We suffer the consequences of the sins that we commit. Back to square one. God said, do not do these things because these things come with consequences. We say no. We want to fornicate. Baba God, pack one side. You are old school. We say lie. We want to lie. God, pack one side. You don't know what you're saying. God, we are going to commit adultery. Guess what? When we do those things God did not say, God said we should not do, we face the consequences. A lot of time that we suffer because of the things that we did. Many times, your consequences, your suffering is coming from the things you did. Both the ones you said, both the one you did knowingly and unknowingly. Nobody's chasing you from a village. 90% of time, we are the cause of our problem. 90% of time. And that's why it's very, very easy for the scriptures, for a lot of pastors to extort you. A lot of pastors extort you because they understand that you don't want to take blame. That is how we started having too many churches. We were supposed to just have like very few churches. We started having too many churches because human beings now realize that people don't want to take blame. Now, when you go to your pastors, some of your pastors, they will blame it on, they'll tell you that it is one of your uncle that is in your village. It is your mother's mother. It is your stepmother's mother. It is your auntie's uncle. Because they realize that you don't want to take blames. But most of the things that happen to you, my darling, look within. Now you cause them. Waiting you talk for your mouth or waiting you do, knowingly or unknowingly. That's why God say, stay away from these things. Because these things I'm telling you to stay away from, it has consequences. Just like when God told Adam, don't eat these fruits. Eat every other fruit in the garden, but don't eat this one. Shebi Adam ate the fruit and realized he was naked. That fruit Adam ate exposed him to go and hide under the tree. But all the while that he did not eat that fruit, he was normal. But he has eaten the fruit and he now realized he went to go and hide. That was when God asked them to leave the Garden of Eden and place the curse. You know, sometimes I pity Africans. I pity Africans because your ignorance is what is making a lot of people rob you. You see all these plenty people that used to go and open plenty churches. We have good men of God, but we have very few good men of God. The fake men of God are plenty. Why? Because they monetize your stupidity and your ignorance. Do you think if I become a pastor today, I can extort you? You know, you people don't like truth. If I want to become a pastor today, give me 1 year, I'm going to buy a G-Guard. If I want to become a pastor today, give me 1 year, I'm going to build a mansion. Why? Because I will monetize your stupidity and your ignorance. You will give me money. By the time I produce holy water and tell you that this holy water will give you husband, you will buy. By the time I produce olive oil and tell you that once you rub this olive oil morning, afternoon, and night, man will follow you. You will buy. Stupidity. That's what you like. And they keep robbing you because you are stupid. That's what you like. That's what Africans like. They like drama. That's what they do to you. Why? Because you don't want to take blame. You will come and tell me, I will tell you, don't worry, it's one auntie from your village. Bring one cow. You go and start chasing your auntie while you are the cause of the problem. The problem keeps lingering. How many people that goes from church to church is progressive? Go and check people that used to go for prayers and church to church. They never progress. They never grow. They are always a shadow of themselves. Go and check them. Church to church. Every time you're going from prayer house to prayer house. But the problem is inside of you. They are telling you it's your uncle. They're telling you it's your auntie. You've been chasing different people for years. But the problem is you. How many pastors will tell you that your problem is you? When you come to my office for consultation, the first thing I'll tell you is, let's look inward. You think I don't know how to make quick money? I can make quick money. Do you know how many followers I have? Do you know how many people come on my life? Do you know how many people listen to me? Do you know how many people believe in me? You think I can monetize your stupidity? I can. But I don't want to. I want to be here for a long time. In the next 5 to 6 years. Right? What I said will still be relevant. You will still come back and say, Kai, blessing was truthful. That's why a lot of false prophets, they don't last. They fizzle away. Another false is going to come. I want to be in this space for a very long time. And that's why I don't want to deceive you. Whether you believe me or you don't believe, whether you accept, you don't accept. I used to tell many people, if you don't watch my video today, you're going to watch it in the next 10 years. In the next 5 years. In the next 7 years. In the next 20 years. If you don't watch it today, you watch it later. Don't stress me. I'm not doing this thing for a short term. I'm not talking because I want to talk. I'm talking because a time is coming when I will not talk again. And these videos will speak for me. I'm not going to be here for a very long time. I'm going to move to a different stage. I'm going to grow. So don't think I'm always going to be on Facebook talking to you. No. A time is coming when you won't have access to me on Facebook. Yes. I'm not going to be here for a long time. So all I am doing is I am laying my foundation. So that in future, you will be the one to say, there was a time Okoro Blessing used to be here talking to us. We thought she was jobless. Every time I come on Facebook, people think I'm jobless, Shebi. This woman, she know they sleep. Morning, afternoon, and night, she did Facebook. She don't they enjoy Facebook. Don't worry. I don't intend to be here for a long period of time. This is just the foundation for Okoro Blessing. Learn. Learn. So that in future, you will not say, Okoro Blessing, you are too cost. Because I will be so expensive. I make this video for reference. I will be too expensive. Many people will not be able to afford me. Even now, most of you, what I charge for consultation is 50,000 naira. If you want to talk to me for 30 minutes, you must pay 50,000. Or go to your house. I do this on Facebook because I know a lot of people need what I am saying, but they cannot afford it. People pay me to talk to me. You don't know? You think I'm jobless? I'm not. But because I realize I have a lot of young people here, students, people who might not have the financial capability to pay me. This I'm doing is so that when I begin to charge so much in future, you will say, Blessing once gave these things for free. Guess what? When I charge you up to 2 million naira to talk to me in the next future to come, do you know what I'm going to be telling you? I'm going to be telling you the same thing I said on Facebook. I'm not going to say anything different from what I'm saying here. You will be paying me because you did not listen to me. You will pay for not listening. You will pay for not paying attention. You will pay for not watching me on Facebook. You will pay for laughing at me. You will pay for mocking my talk. You are going to pay. And I will repeat this same thing on Facebook I'm saying right now. I won't say anything different. That's the dream. And that's why when I charge you, I will charge you so high. Because I'm charging you for the things I have said for free. You don't know? Or do you think when you pay me 2 million, 3 million, I'll come out? It's the same thing I'm saying now. I will repeat it to you. It's free now. I told myself one thing. I don't want to sell my intellect. Do you know how many people have reached out to me? Blessing, you're supposed to be charging. Blessing, you are giving me. I know what I'm giving you. Don't think I'm stupid. I know. Blessing, no, you are giving too much for free. There was a day my mom was listening to me. I was doing a live video. She was like, Blessing, Kiru, do you know you are giving these people life manual for free? I said, I know. I owe it to humanity because I will be so rich. Many people will not be able to reach me. That's the truth. The only thing a lot of people might have in the next years to come are just my videos. I might not even have time to come and sit on Facebook. These videos are the things that are still going to change life. What I did 3, 4, 5 years ago. I want people to see me in my all back, in my small room. And in years to come, they see me in my glory. I'm doing this video for posterity. Let people get to understand that there was a step to Okoro blessing. So that when you see me in the next 5 years and watch these videos, you will have goosebumps. You will see growth. You will see when Okoro blessing was young, with her all back, sitting in her room, talking, and you're not seeing Okoro blessing so big in a private jet. You will understand what is called growth. That's why I do all these videos. Don't think I'm stupid. That's why I can come natural with my all back. I can be all dressed. I know what I'm doing. These videos are for posterity. They're not for now. I'm not doing these videos for now. I'm doing them for later. I want to be able to watch myself in the next 5 years and I smile and say, whoa. I want you to be able to watch me and say, there was a growth. This girl started from somewhere. She did not just fly. Because when people get to see, you always think that people fly to the success. I want you to hear me say this thing, that there was a growth. There was a time I didn't have the things I am going to have in the future. And you're going to see Okoro blessing say it. You're going to see and appreciate my humble beginning. That's why I come the way I am. Both in my nightwear, both in my all back, both in my hairnet, both in my natural face. That's why I don't always want to be too serious with you guys. I don't want to be. Some people used to tell me, Blessing, you're not professional. If I bring professionalism to you here, you will run. If I decide to be professional, you can't ask me a question. I'm a very authoritative woman. If I want to be professional here, I will put fear for una body. That's the honest truth. I used to be a woman that don't play. I started playing on social media. I play more on social media than in real life. I'm not a playful person. The reason why I play on social media is because I want you to be able to warm up to me. I want young people. My target audience are young people. So I want people to be able to warm. That's why I don't like to look too serious. That's why I don't always want to wear eyeglass. I don't want to look too serious so that I don't scare you. I don't look like all those headmistress, your lecturers. No. I want you to be able to warm up. I want you to know that blessing is human. Don't think I can't play all those cards of wearing eyeglass and looking like auntie, looking like pastor's wife. I can do all those things. But I don't want to. Because I know where I'm headed to. A time is coming when all I'll come to Facebook and do is to greet you. When I come to Facebook to say good morning, you will be seeing 200 million views. Just to say good morning. Okoro blessing is going to come on Facebook to say good morning. You'll be seeing 200 million views. Just good morning. I won't talk. I'll just say good morning, my lovers. I just came to say good morning to you people. Have a wonderful day. 2 million people will be there just to see me say good morning. I won't talk like I'm talking now. Go and mark it. I said it. This video will bear me. I said it and it will happen. You will see it. I always like to say it in videos so that in future you will know that Okoro blessing said it. It's like a prophecy because I know where I'm going to. I said it. In years to come, I'm going to call the greet una for Facebook. Hello. Hello. Those of you who are my lovers right now will say, I remember when Blessing used to come on Facebook and come and talk to us. Why am I saying this? Pick all the life lessons you need to learn because you're getting this thing for free doesn't mean it's meaningless. I'm like a voice of God ministering to you. But unfortunately, in this part of the world, when you are not carrying Bible, they think you're not a minister. I don't have to carry Bible before you don't have a minister. So long as you're speaking a word that affects and that changes lives, you're a minister. You don't need to carry Bible and be jumping up and down. All those ones are hypocrites and camouflage. So long as your word touches and changes lives, you're a minister.